Sick and tired of losing those first few games of every single match? Well, I've got 5 tips for you that are going to revolutionise your warm-up and get you that first game almost every time. Hi, Ben from PH Tennis here, and today I'm going to take you through my top 5 tips to win the warm-up. Now, a tennis match starts way before love all in that first game. There are so many things you can do before your opponent even arrives to give yourself an advantage and get ahead in that set. So many times we hear players going, oh, it takes me a while to get warmed up. You know, after the first set, I'm kind of in the flow of the game. We can't be having that. You've got to be ready to go from that very first shot of the match, and that's why the warm-up is so important. And these little tricks are going to make a big difference and hopefully get you that early advantage that you're going to need to win. So without further ado, let's get started. Quick little bonus tip for you. If you have somebody with you, whether it's a friend, a family member, another member at the club, do the whole warm-up with them if you can before your opponent arrives. So serve if you're on your own, but if you have the opportunity to go for a full warm-up with somebody who you're not actually playing against, perfect opportunity to do it. Essentially, we don't want to be relying on our opponent to get us ready for the game. So serve if you're on your own. If you've got somebody with you, have a whole load of ground strokes, loads of volleying, a full warm-up with a friendly co-operator.
But don't forget to serve at the end.
But don't forget to serve. So, tip number 1 is to get to your match early and warm up your serve so it is 100% ready to go. Your first serve, your second serve, any slices, kicks, whatever you need to do, whatever you want to use in the match, make sure it is fully ready to go before your opponent even arrives. Now, there's 2 main reasons for this. 1, you don't need an opponent to warm up your serve, and 2, you're going to, a little bit later on, you'll see the added advantage, but we just got to make sure that you are fully ready to serve. That first service game of the match is going to be the biggest chance to break. You don't want to be giving that opportunity to your opponent. So, tip 1, get to the court early, have a whole load of balls with you, and make sure your serve is ready to go before they even arrive. Little bonus one, if you can time your very last serve just as they walk in the court, smash a monster serve down and go, yep, feeling good today, they're already going to be a little bit worried before you've even said hello. So, tip 1, get there early, hit some serves. Tip number 2 is to walk straight onto court and to go down the bad end. Now, today is quite sunny. You're never meant to look into the sun whilst trying to record, but for the purposes of this, you need to make sure that you are got the sun in your eyes, you've got the wind going against you, maybe your court's on a slope and you're downhill. Anything that makes it one end of the court more difficult to the other, that is the end you want to warm up on. 2 reasons. 1, you get used to it. So you can start to figure out where the sun is and how to avoid it and where you could stand. You get used to the wind carrying that ball onto you a little bit quicker. You can adjust your court position accordingly. But then obviously the other side of the coin, it means your opponent doesn't. So they're at the other end of the court thinking everything's great. They're playing really nicely, they're hitting the ball, it's going really hard, really deep. So they think everything's great, you're getting used to it being a little bit difficult, and then as soon as the match starts, we're going to change it all up. That's coming soon. But tip number 2, make sure that you warm up looking into the sun or against the wind, the bad end. All right, tip number 3 is where we start to get into more of the mental nitty-gritty of a game of tennis, and more specifically, how to start winning the warm-up. Now, if you have already warmed up with someone friendly and you're ready to go, you want to get through their warm-up, your opponent's warm-up, as fast as possible. You're not obliged to do it at all by rule, but trying to be nice, but you can be nice and efficient at the same time. Get straight to the net for some volleys. No, I don't need anything in the back of the court, I'm ready to go. All you are doing is getting them a little bit worried, a little bit frustrated, getting through the game, but in an entirely nice and polite and sporting way. The other thing you want to try and do is a little bit what we call a search and destroy mission. You want to find the thing they can't do very well. Maybe it's high backhands. Maybe they don't like pace very much. So a bit of variation, send your ball down the other end, give them some high, give them some low, some fast, some slow, some deep, some spin, and see what they don't like. And once you've seen what they don't like, don't give them any more. Loads of players will try and warm up their backhand. Don't give them any. Just keep putting that ball onto their forehand over and over and over again. They are telling you what they don't like, and you are responding with, oh, I know you don't like that, but I'm not going to let you practice it now. I'm not going to let you get ready because I'm ready to go. I want some volleys, please. So the whole point is you want to try and get as much information as possible, as quickly as possible, and don't let them settle into the game. So nice and quick, search and destroy, get on with it. We want to get that match started whilst you're ready and they're not. Number 4, you've now got to the serving portion of the warm-up, and if you've been paying attention, you should have already done your serve, which means you don't need to do any more. There's a little caveat to that, I'll get to it right at the end, but the most important thing now is you return your opponent's serve. Nobody returns enough during a warm-up, and it is the most important thing to do because you haven't seen it yet. You cannot be ready to start a tennis match going, I wonder what their serve's like. So get on the court, forget about serving, and return every single one of their serves. You are trying to find how much spin it has, how fast it is, where do you need to stand? Are you going to be in front of the baseline? Behind? Do they always put it on your backhand? Have they left-handed and they've got that awkward slicey serve out wide? All that information is going to give you the best chance to break their serve, hopefully in the first game of the match, which you'll see in a moment. The only thing you can do is right at the end, just do one serve. Hopefully it's big, hopefully it's powerful, put the frighteners on them and go, yep, I'm ready. So again, we are getting as much information from them as possible and giving nothing away. Really, really important because this first game of the match is going to be your best chance to break. And tip number 5, which is coming next, is going to be how to make that work. Finally, it is time to start and you need to do the toss. You may have done this earlier, but the premise is exactly the same. You want to control this. So you grab your racket, you offer to your opponent, I've got a head racket, I'm going to do up or down. The call is up. The racket is down. So you have the choice. Most importantly here is you want to make sure you are now at the good end. You're used to the bad stuff. You've dealt with all the difficulty. Time for the first game. Make your life easy. Give them a bit of a shock down the other side of the court. So if you win the toss, you choose the better end of the court. If you're playing inside, or if you just want a perfectly nice day, there's no sun, there's no wind, you want to let your opponent serve first. Hopefully, their serve isn't very warmed up. Secondly, you are very, very used to it because all you've done is return, and they're going to be doing it down the bad end of the court. You have now maximized your opportunity to get an early break and start piling that pressure onto your opponent. Now, if they win the toss, you're just going to do whatever's going to give you the best chance. If they choose a certain end, you let them serve first. And if they choose to serve first, you can then choose the other end. So just making sure that you're going to manipulate the outcome to give you the best opportunity to win that first game. That's all we're trying to do here. Every single tip, every single thing we've gone through is to give you the best chance of being ready from the get-go, hopefully catching your opponent a little bit sleepy, not quite ready to fire off yet. There we have it then, 5.5 little tips that should maximize your opportunity to win that first game of the match by winning the warm-up. Now, some of you may be thinking, these sound fairly familiar, and they are. If you haven't read Winning Ugly by Brad Gilbert, I strongly suggest you give it a go. A lot of these are in there, plus a whole load more, and lots of other tricks and mental tactics that are going to help gain an advantage when you are playing matches. Hopefully, you're going to see an uptick in success. I really hope you do. Please leave comments and questions below. Likewise, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and check out our other YouTube channel where we review equipment and our other coaching videos as well. Thank you very much for watching, and best of luck in your next game.